Namaste. Welcome to Love Wins. Let me get in my seat. So, it's May 13th, the day after the Scorpio full moon. It's raining off and on. Raining off and on. How is your reality? I love rainy mornings. Let's break that conditioning. See? I caught it, right? Mornings. We already talked about this. I love rainy risings. The alchemy of now. This is how we do this. Okay. So, rainy risings. How is your reality? I have a few topics. So, I want to start with changing your energetic signature, right? Like, if you're trying to break habits, if you're trying to create a new reality, if you're trying to get past the 11th hour, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get past the 11th hour. I am at the point in creation where I've created many a times, and it's pushing through this point to get to the next level of action, right? Because you can't just sit and meditate on a reality and not put the action towards it as well, right? It takes that balance. It takes that beautiful, delicate balance. But the thing is, like, there's that process. There's the process. You have to sit and meditate, and you have to be still and know that I am God. So you can get quiet enough to hear, to feel the path. What's next? What action to take, right? How do you know what action to take if you can't hear it? So you have to turn it off and sit and be still. And then when the intuitive nudges come through, you take action on them, right? So that is for somebody in this alchemical process of unlearning. Right now, guys, we are unlearning, right? We have woken up to the fact that everything has been a lie, is a lie. We've lived a lie. We've woken up to spiritual warfare. We've woken up to the fact that we are eternal souls existing in a matrix of a reality that is pretty much hell. And then they sell you an outside hell and tell you from childhood that you're a worthless sinner and you need to do something externally to redeem that sin that is you. Because everything that is natural, everything is right, everything that is God, everything that is you, everything that is pure, you're apologizing for and healing from apologizing for. And so let's get into this. How is your full moon? I am very ritualistic with the moons, and those of you who are on a path, I'm sure you have your own relationship with the cycles, right? And as in the dark, as is the light, you know, it is a very potent time where energy is high. So energy is energy. You can use it for the light, you can use it for the dark. Unconscious people are being harvested when the energy is more attainable. People that know dark and light use that energy, right? So my moon rituals, it's a sacred practice. It's a sacred practice. And I'm saying this because those of you with these sacred practices, you want to share them along the way, like especially when you get into relationships, friendships, partnerships. Like, we have this natural wanting to expand when you start expanding. So you want to share that with those you love. And the very thing in your pure heart that you are openly sharing is exactly the thing used against you in warfare. So if it's a narcissistic relationship and you, in the love bombing phase, you open up and vulnerably tell them every single thing that you went through and that you're healing from, those are the things later that, will be used to keep you tied, serving that master. But you can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve two masters. So go into self. But I'm saying this because something I've learned on this path is sometimes certain things that are sacred should stay sacred until a qualifying energy is qualified to share those things. I hope this makes sense. The message is for somebody. But they call you crazy until they call you genius, right? So like cycles. This is the end of a dark age, and really, like, the dawn of a golden age, a lighter age is here. The light wins, love wins, like it does. I've seen it, and if you've gone into your heart, you've seen it. You've seen it, and that's why you fight so fucking hard to, like, create it, to be it, because you know in this unjust fucking world, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to be hard. But it has been. It has been, and we're healing from that. So, like, I want to use the astrology. For reference for this topic, because astrology is something that I've been diving into for the past 5 or 6 years. I lost track of the numbers. Like, when you do truly step into ascension, that it's not about the numbers. You understand time, how it really doesn't exist the way we believe it to exist. And the way that we believe it to exist is the very thing controlling us and manipulating us. And that's why birthdays really aren't so important, because they're more keeping you clocked in. It's your punch card, like, I don't want to punch the time card. I just want to be free. Does that resonate with you? You just want to be free, right? So, like, stop clocking in. Just go live your life. But we're unlearning, okay? And rest is what's being called. And that's why inner child healing is so important, because when you were a child, before school, before manipulation, before any indoctrination, when you were just a child, remember what that felt like. Remember taking a nap anywhere and everywhere, even in the sand, at the beach. Just your body calls for sleep, you sleep. With proper sleep and play, you wake up, you have energy, you're full of exciting ideas that you've either brought back from dream world, or, like, you get into creation, role play, imagination, art, music, dance, laughter, like storytelling, like creation is happening naturally as a child, right? And then you grow up and you're indoctrinated and you're surviving, and the Matrix is playing its lovely little games on you, and you have generational trauma, and you have all of these wounds from the life that you lived, maybe street life, single mom, single dad, no parents, foster homes. Like, it goes deep. I've seen it all. I've lived it. Okay? I'm not. Light workers aren't light workers without experience in the dark. We have to go into the dark, the depths of hell, and be there in awareness so we can see and observe, to bring back, to teach, to heal, to be, to do it. Healer, heal thyself. We all have a Chiron in our chart. Like, Chiron is your wounded healer. What are you healing? What is wounded? That's your job, right? So like, this is, I'm telling you how to do this. You go back to that child's, right? And in play, and in creation, and in rest, you remember that child. And he will tell you what hurt, where it hurt, what you lacked. I didn't realize I had a mother wound. Did not realize I had a mother wound until I'm sitting here parenting my mother. Parenting my mother and realizing, like, watching how aggravated I get when my children need so much love and attention from me, and I feel like I give them so much love and attention, and realizing that, like, we didn't cuddle. We didn't cuddle. It wasn't like she was so busy surviving her reality, you know, her traumas, her story was playing out. She was in the story. She was in a hamster wheel of a single mom who was working really hard to provide for her kids. And when she was in a partnership, it was a very abusive domestic partnership. Can you see the cycles? You know? So she's just surviving. And her love language was a home. It was stability. It was whatever activity my sisters and I threw ourselves in, it was being able to provide for that, because, you know, it's like a fucking money pit. Put your kids in school, and then you might as well put the fucking school's mouths on your tits and let them milk you, because it's literally, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. And like, these parents are working to survive, and then they're having to come up with everything that is needed, that is extra. And then the kids are pushed into extracurricular activities because you have to, like, be somebody. And all of that costs, and the pressure on the parents, like, it's real. I saw it as a child, and my mom is going evicted. I moved in with my girlfriend. I turned to sex. I didn't even turn to sex for any other reason other than the fact that the guys wanted me, and I didn't know how to say no. All kinds of fucked up. Didn't even know I was fucked up. Thought I was great because I was a straight A student, AB honor roll, president's list, dance team, always getting picked for performances. You know, like, I was a dedicated student, thought I was great, had no idea of the traumas I was carrying. No idea. But then the shame and the guilt added up as my numbers grew. And I just hid. I hid into a boyfriend, and then I lied to my boyfriend. Shame, guilt, fear, judgment, sinner. What a cycle. We all go through that, you know. And I found my empowerment when I became a dancer, because then I was able to say no. And the power of saying no and then getting paid to say no, it did something. It did something to my ego, and I lived in my shadow. And I got familiar with her, and I went through many realms as an awakened, because I was on my spiritual path in the strip club. Double agent. But, you know, like, you don't understand it until you start to do, when you, like, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it, you know, and we don't. And it's a beautiful part of the unfolding. Like, we all have a story, and everyone's story is different, but like, throughout that whole story, you're going to be every single archetype, every role, every story is going to resonate at some point. in this lifetime and next lifetime, and it's all about the freedom, the liberation of your soul. Okay. So I'm going to use the astrology because I feel like there are a few generations going through a few things, and it's different, and I want to break this down because I'm hoping it will bring some relief to a few collective questions and energies, present energies that people are going through. So the planet Pluto, the energy Pluto represents death and destruction. Now, we all have a birth chart. Now, whether we are a planet revolving around the sun, or whether we are a just matrix of a flat earth and there is a projected star system out there, whatever you believe, it doesn't matter. The fact is, when you were born, the stars, real or not real, the planets, real or not real, had a placement. And that placement is your map. It's your birth map. And all of those energies exist within you. Okay, so where Pluto was at in your birth chart, Pluto rotates. I don't remember how many years it takes Pluto to go from one sign to the next sign. But Pluto is pretty much in alignment with the generational labels like baby boomers, Gen X, and I don't know all the names of them or the years or even which one I am. But I'm Pluto Libra. Okay, so like the generation of Pluto with Libra, Pluto in Libra, this generation, like I'm realizing through observation and study and life experience, giving to you what my wisdom is telling me. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Okay. We are the birthing generation who birthed, like we're birthing and holding space and grounding in what they call new earth. What I'm coming to believe or understand is just earth resetting. She's resetting all of this shit in alignment with the cycles, because in history comes a time where there's just so much dirt, so much darkness, manipulation, toxicity, that nature is going to call her power back. Right? And that's what's happening. Like, she's calling her power back. She's shaking off the fleas. The sun is getting energetically so high vibrational that our electrical systems are not in alignment. All of the shit that we've created to destroy the earth in infrastructure and giving it the title infrastructure, and us people being people and not using our power for good. Because you can use your power for light, you can use your power for dark, you can use it for good, you can use it for destruction or birth, okay? It is what it is. We exist in this duality, but the whole goal is to come into non-duality, right? So, where was I going? Pluto. Cycles. Okay, so like we are here to, that's why we're grid workers, that's why we've been called to travel to the places that we travel to just carry a frequency. We're so attracted to the earth. We collect rocks, we photograph sunsets, we are those holding the collective heart, because we're coming into our hearts now. So as we come into our heart, we hold that heart space. We're grounding the safe space, okay? Because we've had the visions, we've had the dreams, we see the future, we come from the future, we are the past, we are the ancestors, we're here, you know. And then I was explaining this to my mom last night. She's like, well, what about me? Well, what am I? And she's like, she's in her 60s, right? So she's like, I don't know what her Pluto placement is. I didn't look at her birth chart. And she doesn't have her time of birth, so I can't get into it like that. But the group of Plutos with my mom, like they birthed us.
Mom, wanna know how to do this trick?
Bella.
You do this and then you bend it down.
Recording, baby. Okay. So my mom has 3 girls, and I always thought we were like the power of 3, the charmed ones, right? And then like I'd always like try to get them on my path, and they were on their own path, and I'd get frustrated with that. You know, that's something for me. Like I had to live with that. But I learned that our power of 3, we all slayed the demon of alcohol, and we have all, you know, had it in our own way. Like my one sister, both of them took it on themselves. Like they invoked that demon, lived it, and now they don't drink. They don't drink. One of them, she's having her, she's going through it, but she don't drink. I never was a drinker, and I would drink only when pressured. Come on, please have a drink. We're all drinking. And people pleaser, healing from being a people pleaser, you know. Should not have sex with all the people I had sex with. Should not have. Should not have. Wasn't even attracted to 98% of them. Okay? Wasn't even attracted to 98% of them. Don't know what kind of fucking insecurity I was born with or had or where. I'm breaking it down, guys. I'm breaking it down. But I'm loving celibacy, and I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the healing, the womb healing, the sacral healing, the solar plexus healing, the root healing, the calling the fragments of my soul back, and it feels really good. So like those of you on that path, like, are in that space, like, I know, like, it's difficult, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It feels really good. But so they, you know, hallucinogenic drugs and like mushrooms and acid in the 60s and the 70s and all of the hippy dippy stuff, like that was they were opening up their pineal gland to be the start of breaking, you know, because before that I feel like it's like such a, like Pleasantville, like a 50s movie. It was like perfect. Like the woman is ironing and the man is coming home from work, and he sits down and the woman brings his plate and she has no say, and the children have, you know, their feelings are not allowed to be expressed, and they do as they're told, and just conditioning, programming, like agents of the matrix selling their children to the system to just harvest. They're just harvesting us, and we're just working for them, and they reward us with money because you did a good job. Here, go spend your money on our systems, feed it back to us. So fucking bullshit. It's so fucking bullshit. But like, so they were the groundbreakers, you know, of them. And then there's my older boys, the older generation. Pluto is in Sagittarius for that generation, right? That generation, I think it goes from like 98 to like 2007 or something. I'm not an astrologer, and I just have been obsessed with this stuff. So I take notes. And that generation, the peace dealer calls them the crash outs. And like, I hate to like sit here to talk about my brother, my sister, because my mom has 2 crash outs and 2 birthers, 2 grid worker, light worker, ground workers, collective heart holders, safe space makers, right? So, and then the crash outs are the ones that within their system, they're just born to rebel, which is why they've rebelled against, you know, in every way, against their parents, against their everything. Like the XXX ascension generation, juice world generation of children, they're just like, this is so wrong. It's all just so wrong. They've felt the pain, the pain, the anger, the rage, the injustice, they're just and then we gave them Call of Duty, and we gave them Grand Theft Auto, and then it was like the light and the dark was filtering through the media, because we gave them all the animes and the Pokemons and the Dragon Ball Z's, and like, this is how powerful you can be, but it's so fucking fucked up out there, so like, they're gonna burn it fucking down. And I had to take that L. Like, my children are angry at mommy, but that's okay, because I got a bigger job to do, and it's holding the collective heart and creating the safe space, right? So take out the monsters. That generation is taking out the monsters, and then you have the babies. And I forgot what Pluto it was in, and I don't have it here in my notes. We're in Pluto Aquarius now, so that might be, they might all be Pluto Aquarius, but brand new wave of energy. Like, they are the gods and goddesses born into incarnation. They are already there, right? Human. God is man awakened. It's called, like, what is it called in there? Hold on. I was reading this yesterday. Inner child healing. I used to like to sit in the sun and read. So I just opened up a book that I hadn't finished and got into it and fell asleep in the sun. It was really nice. But, hold on. There's a word. I'm just looking for that one word. And I didn't read too many pages, so it should be here somewhere. I think it's anthropos, right? The fullness of humanity. This is the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. I started reading this a couple months ago, and then I was like getting through this, like, the Bible is all going through my thing with the Bible, like, because religion and spirituality are not the same thing. And the churches and the religions are actually harvesting your energy. They are manipulating you. They are using the tools of the spiritual leaders who have came in and achieved Christ consciousness and led the way, spoke the way, shared the way, documented the way, right? And they are just you. Like, there is no one else but you, okay? It's all your story. But like, as it's playing out in the Matrix, we have this literature, and these literatures are roadmaps to your ascension path, and all of the archetypes you're going to come across on that path. But what I'm getting at is so like, they take these teachings and sell you a god. Bella, don't, Bella.
Green and blue mix.
They sell you an outside god.
Blue and green mixed turquoise.
Baby, yes. They sell you an outside god. So you give your power to that God for that redemption, right? Because Jesus, please bless me, for I have sinned, right? Lord, bless me, for I have sinned. Jesus, save me. God, save me. No. Save yourself. That's what that book tells you. That's what these teachings teach you. And there's a way. And they tell you how to do it. And they tell you what you're going to come across. And all of the demons, darkness, devil, all it is you in separation. Because now you have the dark and the light. But you are all of that. So when you come into self and you step out of duality into non-duality, and you understand the whole. You are God. man, human, full, whole human, masculine, feminine, balanced, aware, present self, living in your heart, being your light, doing your duty, right? So, but cognitive dissonance is the disease. It is the disease that comes from indoctrination, and they will defend their belief. And you have to just let them have their belief. And anyone who attacks your belief, because they're going to attack your belief because your self-worth, your belief in self triggers that, okay? So there's always something, but the force has awakened. These children are born, we are coming into ours. Like, everyone has a role, and when you understand your role, it's easier to just be, right? So if you want to go on a hike, go on a hike. If you want to spend the day laying, listening to the rain, in and out of sleep, lighting a candle, do that, because you did your job. And if you're just here to hold the light, then your frequency is your most important. Your most important priority is your frequency. So if there's anything out there that is pulling on your frequency, gaslighting you to make you feel like you need to be doing something else other than what your soul wants to do, that's the demon. That's the darkness. That's the matrix. It's not real. It's an energy. Don't give it power. Raise your frequency, the bills will get paid. If it's, like whatever you're going through will not be fixed in a low vibration. It will just keep adding on, right? So you have to raise your vibration to get out of that, whatever it is. The ideas will come when you're doing what your soul wants to do. Okay. What else did I have? Yeah, I was triggered this morning. I had to go on Amazon. To get one of these breathing necklaces. You just breathe air, right? So like, I'm wanting to quit smoking. I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke weed. I quit for a while. I quit when I got here, and then I started again because I started getting creative, and I have this trauma bond with getting to my I state smoking weed, right? I go in and I have my coffee, I have my weed, I have a system. It's a pattern. It's mine. I love it. And but I'm in the family home, right? I'm in the family home, and I'm wanting to raise my vibration enough to create a reality where I can go live my own life with my own culture, with it just in my own space. That's the goal, right? And I'm watching a video of someone who I love watching his videos, Nana Kwame. He's the god of the waves, very, very much God awakened in his identity with self. He knows himself, and he teaches beautiful wisdom, and I love the messages. And he was talking about the I, and he was talking about the I with marijuana. He calls it Mary and Juana, like they're two entities, and I don't know, there's something to that. But he says that the plant it's a very feminine plant, and it's wonderful for awakening. It's wonderful for I, and it will give you a beautiful I, but not in the family home, because in the family home the Mary can manipulate, right? So you're breaking away from the addiction, you're breaking away from the cycle, you're breaking out of the chains. So if the chains happen, like if it's something that is part of that structured system, that home, it's going to keep you there. It's not going to break you out, because it's that pattern. It's that comfortable pattern. So like, I have to change my energetic signature. I have to change my patterns. I have to change my habits. Even if it's temporary, in this space, it has to happen. So I've been sitting with that over the past 24 hours. Like, okay, am I ready? Like, am I ready to quit? And like sitting with it, right? And then I have this fear because I'm in the 11th hour. I'm in the 11th hour. Like, I've got, the ideas are coming and they feel good, and I'm protecting them, and I'm not running around telling everybody, because in the past that was my downfall. I would get excited about things I'd want to share to people because I would think they would want to collaborate and get excited with me, and when that energy wasn't matched, and then later learned how much they were, it triggered my sense of self, triggered their beliefs, their whatever they don't believe is possible, in any way. But we learn this on the path because we have to experience it. We have to get hurt and betrayed by the ones we love the most, and only wanting to enliven, enlighten, enlift, and we're healing from that. So rest is required. But I was on Amazon looking up these necklaces. They're breathing necklaces. So you just breathe air, and it's around your neck so you don't lose it. And I wanted to get one of those. And I saw an ad for it said sensory fidget toys. And with it, and it triggered me. So I wanted to just I wrote down, how about sand, rocks, trees, beaches, rivers, right? It's like, we don't need to be buying our kids more toys. It's more stimulation, because that fidget is the call to nature. They know what they need. And if you go back to the child within, you know what they need. Okay? They need to collect rocks, play in the sand, make mud pies, explore, climb trees, splash in the rivers, catch frogs, make a whole world of imagination in one day, and have an entire adventure. Okay? Because they know what they need. And it's time we wake up. It's time we wake up. Because it's happening. Earth is resetting. Frequencies are raising. Madness is happening. We got a generation that is just going hard in their feelings right now. And we can't stop them. We can't stop our own kids. You think this failing system is going to stop them? No. They're going to burn it down. And we've got the grounded, safe space holding the collective heart, maintaining what's sacred. That's what we're doing, maintaining what's sacred. So yeah. I hope y'all have a blessed reality. Love definitely wins. And I hope this message helped. It is, it's helping me. So I'm going to leave you with that. I love you. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are human. Okay? Whole human. God is man awakened. So what do you want to create today? Seriously, what do you want to create today? I love you.